to chat. Once I see you come up in blue, then I'll pull you in. So, guys, clearly you can see I'm tired. I've had a very, very long day. I've been up since 4 to catch that early flight here. I had some respiratory issues while I was in the council from some lady wearing too much perfume, and my breathing got triggered. So it's been a really long day. And of course, just right before I had to go speak, which sucked, because now I'm in my mask and suffocating to death. But it was a very interesting day. I'm so sorry if that hearing was somewhat painful. But it was long, and the chairs were extremely uncomfortable as well. But there was so much information, and we met so many really good people today that came up to us to say that they were glad that we were there and supported what we were doing. There's a group of sanitation workers that showed up today, too, that was actually protesting last night at Harry Nespoli's election, which the funny thing is that he kept the election secret so we wouldn't go out and do what we did to Michael Mulgrew. So it was rather an interesting day. So there was that. And then, so also as an update, let me just see if Michelle is able to come back in. I'm going to send a request again, Michelle. So the update for this craziness that happened. So the MLC yesterday voted to change the administrative code by misleading the council presidents in what they told them would happen. And by doing so, there was a lot more, so you do know, there was a lot more pushback this time than there was the first time. So that was good to see that the advocacy of you and us has been making headway with some of these other unions that before blindly voted to support whatever the MLC said to them. And so that was really good to see. The vote still passed because most of the problem is that the votes are weighted. You know, they need like 1,000 something votes, and between the MLC, the UFT, and Harry Nespoli sanitation, and I guess partially Greg Floyd or DC, you know, the DC 37 and the UFT are the two biggest unions, and their weight pretty much will sway whatever they want, which is a pretty scary thing when you think about some of the language that came out with the draft to change the administrative code 12-126 allows the city and the union, the MLC, to make whatever determination that they want. And the words were chilling. It was that they could select any benchmark plan for any class of people. And yet, instead of changing the administrative code to determine what the class was, they did a side letter, which is BS. The side letter is not going to hold up. I mean, and it's just a horrible way of doing it. So now, where does this get fought? So before I go on to that, so why would they do this? They would do this because they thought they were going to lose in October. So if they thought they were going to win, they wouldn't try to do this before we go to court, right? They just would have waited to see what the judge's decision is. But this is a workaround, and they know that. This is a real slime ball tactic. And again, it doesn't fix the underlying issue of the stabilization fund being underfunded or poorly funded or being misused the way it's been used over the decades. So them just doing a short-term funding by selling off our health care, or as Mr. Gaglione will call it, go buy yourself an air fryer and take your money out of some other, someone else's pocket. They're not fixing the issue. The underlying issue is still there. Misuse. There's no oversight. They're not putting the money back in cash. It's fungible, as Mr. Gaglione describes it. No, if you take $1,000 out of that fund, or $1 billion out of that fund, or $1 million out of that fund, you should put that money right back in. There's ways of paying yourselves back, but basically what he did was took the money out of the fund and then asked all the other unions' retirees to pay it back in their health care. And that was absolutely wrong. But no one called them out on it. And it's also upsetting, and I don't care if the unions are hearing this, I hope they listen to this video. How slimy is it that you allow this to happen, and yet you won't stand with the retirees who were formerly of their organizations? They should be standing with us on this fight, next to us, whether they think we're going to win or lose. It doesn't really matter. If they think what's happening is wrong, you speak out and say, this is wrong. You just don't let us do what argue the war by ourselves. This just doesn't make any sense. So I think that leaves them spineless, to be honest, and the burden on us to take this fight and run with it. And I can't guarantee you, and no one on our board, the attorneys, no one can guarantee how this will end up. I wish Michelle was here with her 8-ball, because maybe she could tell us. Michelle, I'm going to try you again. It just keeps saying connections failing. But this doesn't make any sense. When you see something that's wrong and you don't talk out about it, speak out about it, say anything about it, fight back, push back, or even, they're in this damn MLC. And at one point, the MLC was fine. But the problem is the unions got too big and their power exceeded what they used to have, to where now it's no longer even fair. Yet they don't even look to change the voting rules, that the MLC, the UFT, and the DC 37 doesn't have the power that they have. They shouldn't be able, 4 unions, 3 unions, to pretty much dictate what happens to the other 100 unions. It should be more democratic. So I just honestly think, and I'm tired, I'm sorry, I'm just going to be blunt about it, they're all ballless. And I'm really frustrated with dealing with them with this, because I'm talking to them till I'm blue in the face and they just don't get it. But I will say to them, thank you for voting no. At least you had a conscience. But it would be nice if you were in this fight with us. But that said, to hell with them, because if they're not going to fight it, we sure as hell are. So we've got a lot of things happening, and a lot of it we're going to need your help with. So those phone calls to city council are going to have to start pretty darn soon. We're still trying to formulate that message and the tactics and whatever strategy we come up with in the next couple weeks to attack this. So give us a little time. We know that the next step is that this is going to go to the city council, and then it will be, in their hands. And then we'll need to pull you into help us out with this. Does anyone have any, questions about listening to me ranting? I'm so sorry. I'm not seeing any questions. So that said, until I see more questions, Michelle's going to try to get on her computer, because she's been trying to get in on her cell phone, and for whatever reason, it's not working. But thank you all for your support today. I did get a lot of kudos afterwards. A shout out to Alice Wong and from the MEA. And the gentleman that's in charge of the Retirees Association, someone help me out. I met them today in person, so I was really excited to see them. His name is evading me. Sweet gentleman, both of them he's from the MEA Retirees, and they testified. They were actually, I think, first to testify. So we have their testimony. We will scan that in when I get back home and share that with you, and actually all of their testimony should be online eventually. The city council usually takes everyone's compiled testimony. It's like 600 pages long, and they upload it. And so we'll eventually have all of that. I know you guys have been texting me, emailing me, Facebooking me, FaceTiming me. I have to tell you, I've got like 50 text messages, and I just haven't had a chance to get back to you. And in the meantime, we're still trying to do our advocacy on the side in between, and I haven't even answered half of those emails. My own team has been trying to get a hold of me, but today's just been kind of like it's just been a crazy day. Now I'm seeing comments. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Susan. Determination and perseverance. It does help to be Sicilian and stubborn, so that does help. Tom says, any idea how quickly the city council could take up this? No, we have absolutely no idea how long it will be before this hits the city council. The only thing you could do is keep checking the calendar. So that's actually how we found out about today's hearing. And because tomorrow is the Labor Day parade and I wanted to be there to also speak to other electeds that are there, then that's really important. So that's why I said, let's go hit all of this. And then Sunday's 9/11, so I have that too. You guys are so sweet. Making me cry. Shelley, man, I know, man. Michael Mulgrew is such an idiot. He was so arrogant in that meeting yesterday. I can't. I hope I see him tomorrow. I'm going to give him a piece of my mind. As we watch the U.S. open the money generated in New York City economy, let it be known that it was built on the backs of New York City retirees, double zeros. Yeah, it was double zeros under Giuliani, but we also had zeros under Dinkins. We absolutely did. Michelle, I'm going to see if you're back in here. Oops, I just flipped you over. Michelle, I'm not even seeing you now. Gwen, I hope I got your email too. Like I said, I just haven't had a chance to look at it. Eloquently, I was like suffocating in my own mask. It was crazy. I haven't had a breathing issue like that in a little while. And I had a 5-minute testimony that I had timed. Sue Dodell had kind of coached me yesterday and helped me tighten up my testimony. And then, of course, I had to cut it down. They told us we'd only have 2 minutes. I was like, oh, shit. So I cut it down to 2 minutes, and still I was just having such a hard time breathing. I could not get focused. It was like my brain was shutting down. Well, Linda, I think we're all disappointed in the UFT because they could have stopped this at any point. They could have said, hey, you know what? We screwed the pooch on this one. Let's kind of fix this. But they didn't do that. So what insurance is Adams pushing towards? So the unions were talking about the Aetna plan, and they're talking about an HMO plan. I mean, they have so many different things in the work. I honestly can't even tell you what they're going to do. I think they were more confused, and listening to them was confusing. Listening to what they had to say was confusing. We had a lot of phone calls about that, about people telling us the different things that were going on in that meeting and their talking points, and it just doesn't make any sense. You're welcome, Di. Didn't we have a contract with the city about our health care? Should be when I retired. No. So here's the deal on that. And this is what we've been trying to tell the unions, and you guys can step in, and this is going to need to be a talking point too when you talk to city council, is that there is no collective bargaining agreement for retiree health care. It's because we had this statute. That's what we relied upon since 1967. There is nothing in the collective bargaining agreements that states that you are entitled to health care paid for the city by a certain point. The only thing you have is 12-126, which provides two things: Medicare B reimbursement, and it also provides you with the HIP HMO cap that the city has to pay up to that cap for any plan that they offer. And this was the big lie in that meeting, from what we were told. Henry said to the people that attended that meeting, that the judge said that the judge's decision was they only had to offer one plan, HIP HMO. That's not the ruling. The judge never said that. And all it would take is one of these 80-something people to pull up the damn decision from the judge and look at it. But no one did. And they all took their word, the big lie. And remember, we did a video on this. The more you tell the lie, that, the lie becomes the truth. And this is what Henry Garrido did, is told these people, because when we got those phone calls yesterday, we said, the judge didn't say that. The judge said if any plan was on the table that they had, and it was under the cap, the city had to pay for it, period. He didn't say you had to offer one damn plan. But this is what Henry and Michael and Harry and Alan Klinger, the attorney for the MLC, the UFT, and Emblem Health, allowed to be perpetuated. So that in itself is absolutely horrific. So that's actually the short answer, Ruth, is that there is no CBA on this. They get rid of this bill, they get rid of this law, they get rid of everything. Thank you, Renee. Gail is going to be really important on this, and I would have thought she would have been a little more flexible with me yesterday, but she kept trying to get me off the stand like everybody else, and that's really horrible. You can't formulate a testimony in 2 minutes. Thanks, Ellen. Actually, Trudy sent me a letter in the mail, and she also gave me 3 phone numbers. I just did not have time today to call. So tomorrow I might have some time to make those phone calls. But I'll check and see if your numbers are the same as hers. Oh, no, Gwen. DCAS, OLR, OMB, they flew the hell out of there, because as they were leaving, people were trying to tell them to stay and block their way, but they were like, we're out of here. Yeah, I'm exhausted, Christine. I love you too, Di. Does anyone see Michelle? Michelle, are you in here? Okay, Michelle, let's try again. Sending you a request. You guys are so sweet. I love you too, William. You guys are awesome. Michelle, it says adding. So I don't know what that means. It still says adding. Christine Benton Marzo. I worked for City Council for many years, and now I'm retired in Florida. I cannot believe the City Council would go along with the garbage that they are presenting. I will call everyone. Good for you. I am, Dan. I do. I am. I look. I feel how I look. Michelle, it still says add it up. Now it says connection failed. I'm going to try it again. Send request. You're welcome, Sherry. Dominic! Yeah, I know, Beverly. I was trying to get all those words out, and then when I heard the bell go off and I was still trying to breathe, I was like, oh shit, I still have like a page and a half to read, and I just like chopped out more paragraphs and just kept on going. Because Sue had told me that not to worry, because even if I couldn't get the whole speech in, because I submitted my testimony, it gets entered into the record and they will read it. And actually, some of the council people came up to me afterwards and said, don't worry, we want to hear what you have to say. but thank you for giving us the written testimony. We will review it. And I actually saw it in their hands. So as they were walking out, so. And I saw that you were there. I was actually sticking around City Council because his detail was waiting outside, and I was hoping to be able to get to see him. I'm glad you told him how you felt, and I know you did so eloquently. Yeah. Let's try Michelle again. Michelle, are you able to FaceTime with me? Oh, that's good, because I was like dying inside, Elga. I was like, I gotta get these words out before I pass out. And then I went into the lobby and had a breathing treatment. Denise, yes, very important, Denise. Very, very important, Denise. Yeah. I really want to try to get Michelle in here. I know you guys, I know you're telling me to end this, but he wasn't happy. That's all right, Anne. It's okay. I say the same thing. It doesn't matter that like, well, they're gonna hate me. Like, I don't give a shit. I'd rather have no friends and be on the right side of this. Yeah, I don't need the unions to like me. They should like me because I'm actually defending them and their own people and their former members. But shit, if that's what it takes, I don't need that kind of friend. I got all you guys. Let me see if I can message Michelle on phone. Oop. Are you there? Can I video with you? Let me see if I can message Michelle. Oop. There you go. I only got you on video, though. Down here. No, I think we're on delay. There's a delay. Do you don't get video on this?
You do. You're blank. Hold on.
You're blank too.
Hold on.
Michelle! Look, everyone, it's Michelle. Okay, now we can have a meeting. All right, this is ingenious. Okay, I'm passing the torch to you so I can breathe a little bit. So you start talking.
What do you want me to say? Oh, we got it. Well, let me get the winner up from last week. Hold on. How funny is this? You guys can hear me?
Yeah, I think they can hear you.
Okay, good. Good. Hold on. Let me get this up here. I know she did. Marianne did a good job today. Very proud. Yay. Hold on. All right. All right. The winner of this week's giveaway is Howard Babbage. And yes, we got permission to mention his name. So that is this week's winner, Howard. You are the winner for this week. Thank you.
Thank you, Howard.
Yes, thank you, Howard, and thank you, Kathy, for, I believe, Madeline sent out an email to you already. So you'll be receiving your gift for your donation. The only thing I noticed, somebody had sent, just to let people know out there, there was a donation that's sent through Cash App. I know some people use Cash App. I just found out from somebody who actually uses Cash App that money needs to. Okay, so because I saw a response in the email that the Cash App expired, and I didn't know what that was. And when I was talking to a friend of mine, they said that yes, when somebody sends money through Cash App now, it has to be accepted by the
Receiving party?
Yeah, there you go, the receiving party. See, I'm tired too.
I know you are.
From the receiving party. So just to let people know, if you're going to send money through Cash App, I will keep an eye out for it so I know now, but also to let you guys know, if you're going to use Cash App, that the IRS is now tracking that. That's new.
Okay.
I know in the past that wasn't, something that the IRS was tracking. So they changed the rules and regs, with all those applications now. So, So that was that. Other than that, there's really nothing else, going on of that I saw in the emails. I got to everybody's emails, and again, I see the donations coming in, and
thank you.
Thank you, everybody out there. And I wish I could make the parade tomorrow. I just got a lot going on my plate. I was out down in Long Island earlier in the week and got stuck in terrible traffic, so I just could not make that trip again. So I got to come from that trip. So, what else do we have?
We have the parade tomorrow, so if you're in Manhattan, come and meet us. Bring a sign, make up a little sign. Remember, no sticks. Meet us at 10 a.m. at no sticks. Sticks are weapons. Meet us at 46